What's up, guys? Your boy Mannylo, and today in this video I just want to talk to you guys about how to be successful on YouTube. For those who are already successful on YouTube, what to do with your money. Also some ideas of like how I became successful, and then just the truth about being, having money, having a good amount of money. Because in this world there's a lot of people who are out to get you, and you don't really know from you don't really know because you don't really have to deal with that on a day-to-day basis because you're not making that much. But like I said, the first thing I want to start off with is what to do once you're successful on YouTube. This can apply to really anything, and also just some things that I looked up, and that, like, if you want to make more money or just go into different things. So first thing you want to do is get your LLC. It's called a limited liability company. So basically what that does is it protects your assets. So let's say you're to get sued, right? Or anything can happen, and instead of them taking all of your things, like your stuff, that protects you, and they can only take what is kind of owed to them, I guess, but they cannot take your whole business or just just things in general. You can do more research on that, but that's basically why it's very important, and it gives you the ability to kind of fight back in some things, or like have a legal attorney. So when it comes down to success on YouTube, I would say you're making maybe like 5,000 plus a month, or yeah, I would say for the average successful idea of a person on YouTube, you're making about 10 grand or less a month. Any more than that is good money. So like I said, you definitely want to get that LLC. From there you can look into like investing into other things. So there's no one really here to tell me anything. I have to kind of find out on my own. Long story about my life, but basically you can look into stocks, you can look into investments, dividends, mutual funds, so much you can do with your money. And CD accounts, those don't gain that much money, but it's more guaranteed than other things. And there's a lot of things you can do with your money once you're successful on YouTube, or just in general. I'd say be wise though, do a lot of research, don't just trust anybody, because I have like I said, I have a lot of stories about all the things I've been through. I'm not going to mention it in this video because right now this is just specifically these three things, and I don't want it to be too long, but I can make a video that can kind of help you guys out because like I said, we're naive to the business. We don't know like how these companies are honestly just trying to use you, and even if you start something with good intent, that doesn't mean it's going to end with the same good intent. And that goes for a lot of things, and you have to be spiritually strong, mentally, and be able to not let it break you. But so yeah, those are some things you can do. I don't really want to talk about the stock market and how to read those things, and go watch some YouTube videos, go to school for it, college. I graduated college, minor in marketing, and I got my major in political science. I'm 22 years old, and I'm doing pretty good, so also, once you're successful on YouTube, you need to know the legal system. Like, that is very important. Originally, I was going to become a lawyer, so I already had an idea about legal stuff. But like I said, you're naive. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, you're naive. No one's telling you what to do, how to do it, unless you have like parents who know what they're doing. In my case, African American male, not really have any just pretty much the basic idea of what goes on for us is pretty much what happened to me too. My dad is in my life like that. I don't have any real advice from anybody. I had to learn everything on my own, and half the time, like, people, friends, they just try to use you to an extent. But because of my strong faith in God, that kept me strong and kept me, still staying as a good person. That's why I'm trying to make something like this for you guys. I know my channel is about anime and all that, but like I said, I'll get into that a little later, explain it, and just help you guys get an understanding about the legal processing and how all that works. Alright, so just to get back on topic for the success on YouTube, number one, I would say It's really difficult because, you know, the best thing for you to do really is to invest into like a CD account, dividends, or something like that, because anything else is a risk, you know. Retirement plan. I should have said that at the beginning. Definitely invest into your 401k or like some sort of thing to where you pay towards that is set for you. If you get sued or anyone messes with you or anything happens, that money can't be touched by anybody. That's something you definitely want to do. I forgot the name. I could look it up, but it's like annuity or something like that. Flipping houses is another idea. I watched a whole bunch of videos like the guy Limitless and a few other people. And honestly, at the end of the day, it depends on how much you make, because you don't want to be greedy. You know, it's a really good thing that I'm more religious than I am when it comes to like the worldly stuff, because at one point in my life I got kind of greedy. Last year I was making a lot of money on YouTube and I just wanted to keep the success going, and if you lose everything, then it just kind of hits you like, wow, you know. And most people, we don't know, or we don't really pay attention to, you know, what the truth is. And like I said, I don't want to get into that. When I explain my life story or something, like I'll explain everything I've been through to help you guys out, so people won't have to go through what I went through, and you know, you can come out on top. Also, just think of everything as like something extra. So when I say stock market, that's another job. You literally have to know how to read that stuff. You have to know, you know, the lines, when it goes down, goes up. Some companies just like die out, like Bitcoin and all that stuff. You know, you don't jump on something because of hype. You jump on something because you know what you're doing. It's so much. It's literally another job. So if you don't need to do it, I would say, you know, just if you're making enough money already, don't worry about that. If you're just trying to be, you know, greedy, make a little bit more money, possibly, then that's another easy way to make money. More guaranteed ways to make money, like I said, would be a CD account, and you know, other things such as that. All right, so those are just some quick tips from me. I don't really want to go in depth into all that stuff. You know, do your research. I'm just giving you guys ideas so you can think about it. Like I said, I had to look all this up, talk to accountants and everything, banks, and it's a lot of stuff. All right, so lastly, the truth about riches. All right, guys, so man, I really wish I would have made like a life story video before I made this, but I'll make one of those a little later. So to be completely honest, riches ain't that big of a deal. Like, I know it's like you guys gonna be like, what do you mean? No, trust me, man. Like, I was content with what I had before all this stuff on YouTube and the money I was making. Like, no YouTuber's gonna tell you this. No rich person's gonna tell you this, because it's bad marketing. You know, to be completely honest, it is bad marketing to say this, because people who are rich, or people who make a lot of money and they're doing it in a business like this or in general, they want you to keep watching them. They want you to think, oh, I'm so great, I do so much, you know. And it's like, I'm the person that you want to be. You know, you want to be like me so you can get this money. Like, it's so great. No, dude, like, I will say it was cool because I got a car. I never had a car before. I just got me a car. I can Uber Eats whenever I want, which was really cool. I can get ice cream whenever I want. You know, I'm a simple guy. Like, that's all I needed. And I can get a few video games that I wanted. However, you know, once you start doing that every day, it's like, oh, you know, it was more fulfilling having that stuff for special occasions, or it was more fulfilling doing these things in certain times and areas. And yeah, it was nice. Like, I could pretty much buy whatever I want, but at the end of the day, man, like, nah, like, trust me, dude, like, you need to be content with what you have. Also, don't compare yourself to other people. A lot of people are very depressed in this era, and in general, because you compare yourself to someone who is successful. Don't worry about their success. You need to be worried about Jesus Christ, you know, getting your life right with him, and then, you know, living, you know, in a good way. I would say because of that, I was able to see the truth and the wisdom in the Bible. It pretty much showed me the truth about all this stuff, man. And I mean, I don't really know how to really explain it better because it's just it's like a mindset. It's like once you see the truth, it's just, and a lot of people are blind to it. Uh, you don't need that much money to survive. Like, you really don't. You know, it's cool to make that much money, but there's problems. You ever heard the saying, more money, more problems? Like, that's a thing. That's for real. When you make a lot of money, you're gonna get taxed. So the only way you can do write-offs on taxes is like pretty much putting that money towards your business. But what if you're doing a business like YouTube? It's like, oh crap, now I gotta like start making stuff up, like doing more stuff, meaning like retail, merchandising, like all that stuff, just to put money towards it. You can't write off a car, you can't write off a Rolex, you can't write off any of those things. And at the end of the day, people who try to wear that stuff and act like, oh, this is so great, it's nothing. It really is nothing. You know, it's just somebody's gonna hit you across the head if you go out trying to wear something like that, you know, and steal it. It happened to many of my friends. So yeah, I really want you guys to really understand, you don't need to worry about, you know, the money. You just think about your life, really reflect on it. I'm pretty sure most of you are doing better than other people. And the thing is, even if you're doing better, you still even shouldn't compare that to other people. It's just like, if you're happy where you are, then be happy with it. You know, when people like, I guess like rappers, and it's people who make a lot of money real quick, YouTubers, you know, we can just like, oh, we can gonna buy this, do this, and then want to make a music video and just pretty much brag about what we're doing, but it's really pointless and it's destructive to you guys, because it's like, we're rich because of you. If think of it like this, if I have a piece of paper and this piece of paper is obviously worth nothing, but if I get millions of you to watch me hold a piece of paper and like you pay money towards it or something, then like I literally just got rich from you guys, from me having an idea that was worth nothing but is now worth something. And that's with anything. And I always like to think about basketball players, and I think about like business people and all that stuff. So basketball players and rappers and just sports people, actors, they all come off with a persona. And the thing is, you have to stay relevant, seems like. And I noticed like some of the big YouTubers like Jake Paul and all them, like during that boxing stuff, it's like once you're irrelevant, other people will make fun of you. And then it's like, oh no, I'm irrelevant. But however, I'm living a great life and I'm making all this money. Even though the money really does not bring you happiness. I'm telling you, it does not. When I started making money, it was pretty much the same happiness as if I didn't have that money to begin with. And like I said, you don't need that much. You really don't. You don't. You just need a nice car. You just need a job. Hopefully some good people to be around, and spiritually, you know, keep yourself motivated. But that's all you need. You don't need all that other stuff. And then people who have it, they're just trying to like make you think you want it. But once you have it, it's like, wow, you know, I have it. Then what? There's nothing more. Just, you got it. That's it. You know, and a lot of people are gonna definitely bash and be like, no, you're wrong, dude. You know, you want to want all these things. I'm like, nah, man, trust me. Some of the most depressed people I've known have been rich people. They don't want to say it, but they are depressed. They're very depressed. You know, I've never seen people like that. Like, they'll complain and argue about things that just is so irrelevant, but it's like you have nothing else to do with your time in your life. It's just, oh, I already have it. I made it. That's it. Now what? You know, start problems. I don't know. I mean, it's not all rich people, and at the end of the day, people don't realize that poor people and rich people, they're still people. You know, everyone goes through the same problems in some sort of way. You know, some people you can be poor and a drug addict, you can be rich and a drug addict. You can be poor and have like problems when it comes to whatever. Like, you could be, if you're trying to grow spiritually, you can be rich and have those problems. It's just people don't realize it. You know, and one goal of my life was to understand everybody so I could see the truth and talk about it one day. But those are the things I just wanted to talk about in this video. Hopefully later on I'll make a video about my life and kind of like everything I've been through, so it can kind of help you guys out more. Like I said, I'll make more videos like this, not even if this does well. I'm just gonna make more videos like this. Screw it. You know, someone needs to be able to help the youth right now, like when our dads aren't in our life like they need to be, or we don't have any role models in general, when we're our own role model. And that's it for today, guys. Mannylo, peace.